Alright folks, whenever you're seeing this is a continuation of a video earlier. We are well into our high range here. It's, I mean, we're not at the end, but this is 8K. So, of course, pressure has died down. I'm a huge fan of slurry. I always will use slurry. So, slurry it up, work my angles, make sure that I've joined it, I've gotten every bit of it, and then now we're just gonna play, water in the mud, so to speak. I've cleaned off all of the slurry, and I'm just keeping plenty of water on it, and that will all right. That one is finished. We'll move on to this next one. So when I did 5K, I basically did the same thing that I'm doing now. I just a little more like starting off, I would use a little more TMP, keep the slurry around for longer, maybe make a little thicker slurry. So let's get that mixed up pretty good, and just a little more aggressive. I mean, that's the idea, is you start off by really cutting and you end by really polishing, and along with the progression of stones, your technique needs to progress as well. Same TNP, pressure and torque and pressure, that you use when you're on one, low range stones shouldn't be the same that you use on your mid-range to your high range stones. So it's all got to progress. But the end will be a good result. And I am not trying to be rude to anyone. And I won't drop any names on this, but I literally, right before starting this video, I seen a video of somebody, HHT, hanging hair test, HHT. I'm sorry guys, HHT, before the shave test. And I'm like, well, I almost wanted to leave a post that said, hey, I got this video you need to go check out. It's called Parlor Tricks, and don't fall for them, because if you did it right, your 1K can do a hanging hair test. And that's it is what it is, guys. One of these days maybe I'll be better at making these videos and know how to keep the attention. I don't know what I can say that will, be a game changer for you. That could possibly solve all your problems and make it all worthwhile, but really the one thing that's going to do you know, it's about time to put that stone. The one thing that's going to give you the most results is practice. Just practice. And building that muscle memory. I have got, so I can feel it. Is it on the tape? The tape? Oh. Maybe that was it. There it is. The hair. I'm doing hanging hair test. Right there it is. Probably doesn't help that I haven't had a haircut in a long time. My hair is actually the longest I've ever had hair in my life. So it's kind of different. It's hot, but it's a mess. It's unruly. And I spend most of my days looking like Einstein. So wear a hat every time I leave the house, but I decided it was time to maybe try growing long hair. Why not? Never done it. Change of pace. Well, I'm scooting right through this bundle. I thought it was going to have me at it for quite a while, but they've all went pretty easy. I say that the next round I'll have some hardcore Sheffields that'll take me 6 hours to hone one razor. Which I don't really have that too often, but I've done it. Every once in a while I like doing it all by hand, you know, but if something's in really bad shape, if there's absolutely no bevel because of the age or there's a chip in the blade, I will just use power. I'll use tools to fix that. I'll use tools to start my bevel as well, and that will save me a lot of headache. But once in a while I like doing things by hand, I guess. It's kind of fun. Not the honing, just the traditionalness of it, I guess. I need to put more effort into my website. I seem to not really do a lot with it, and I should. video my dog up there. Yeah, he's a good pup. So you guys that know me and have seen the videos and whatnot, seen my posts, my dog Ronan that I'd had for some time and was my service dog, he ended up passing away of congestion, some heart failure or whatever. It was a rough morning. You know, he was acting weird Saturday night, and Sunday morning woke me up super early. You know, I could tell something was wrong, and I woke the wife up, and we started racing toward the capital city, which is about 45 miles away from us, to get him to the emergency room. And he didn't make it. He didn't make it. And I kind of feel bad for the fella. He spent his last 30 minutes, 40 minutes of his life in the back of the car going quite fast down the highway. We were less than a minute away from that hospital when he finally let go. In my wife's arms in the back, and I just wish we would have done that at home, where he was peaceful, you know. And that took a lot out of us, a lot of steam left. He was a great dog, man. He was just, I don't know, there was something about that dog that was different than any other dog I've ever had, I've ever met. He was something special. And sad thing is I gave some time. You know, I let a good 4 or 5 days pass, and then I had to go to my wife and remind her that, hey, not only was he, you know, the family pet, but he had a job, and since he's no longer available to work that position, we can have some grieving period, but that position needs to be filled again. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to replace Ronan. You know, no dog can replace that little guy. But his position can be replaced. So we got another one. And Goyoshi is awesome. Goyoshi is Japanese for samurai who does for others. He's a rescue. So he was found in a side ditch in Tipton County with a bunch of puncture holes all over his face, arms, neck, and chest, and about half dead. And he spent 3 weeks in the animal hospital down there, one of which in like a coma, I guess, to bring him back to life. And he was we didn't have to pay an adoption fee because it had already been paid, because he was the least adoptable dog, because he's so reactive toward other animals. He's good with humans. Well, he doesn't attack. He's just very barky. You know, he barks at me and the wife when we walk into a room. He'll, you know, speak up. But when it comes to other animals, he is very reactive. And probably about 2 weeks in, my wife tried to do a play date, and I warned her of it. And he came home with a busted canine, and the other dog had to get a bunch of stitches. And that really stinks, but it happened. And had to pull the canine, so he's only got one canine. And then he snatched up some fellas down the way. He had a Chihuahua that they never put on the leash and just let running around to piss and shit in everybody's yard, which I was never okay with. But and he ran up on, that little dog ran up on Go Yoshi, and Go Yoshi snatched him up and shook him a little bit and tossed him like a shot put. Well, he didn't hurt the dog, he just tossed him a bit. And then, wasn't long, about like a week after that, we were outside and he was going to the restroom one last time before going to bed. So it was dark, we didn't have porch light on or anything. I didn't have him on a leash. I was just going potty real quick. So here he is taking a dump, and somehow or another the neighbor's dog got off its leash and just came running up on him. And the neighbor's dog is nice. He just wanted to play. I felt so bad for him. He ran up on Yosh, and Yosh, he started running. He was running to me, and Yosh pinched it off and came running up and snatched him up and just started shaking. And I grabbed a hold of him and got him apart, but I thought he was going to rip that dog's back open, and he didn't. So that's wonderful. But for being such a reactive dog, he is a teddy bear, man. He's a love bug. He's a good dog, man. I mean, we made another good choice. We got, I'm not going to say choice. I feel like in this time in my life, and especially with Ronan, like these dogs were brought into my life for a reason. That wasn't the local pound. Hell, we had to drive 30 minutes to go get him, and Chelsea said she was led to get him, and we went in there, and we think the ladies working in the shelter hid that he was the most unadoptable dog, because they didn't tell us about that till we had already finished everything, signed the papers, and we were driving out and then about to pull out onto the road. And they called her cell phone and told us to come back. They had to refund us our money because it had already been paid, because he's the most unadoptable dog. So we think they hoodwinked us a bit. But hey, you know what? They didn't hoodwink anything. It was their loss, our win. He was he was definitely either a fighting dog or a bait dog or something. He's had a hard life, and now he is he's part of the family, and he's spoiled, and he goes everywhere with me. You don't leave the house without Yosh, and does this thing. He's cool. Everybody likes him. We like him. All right, folks, I'm done with the 8K. I'm going to swap out my kit here and switch over to some natural finishing stones and kind of work from here. There's a couple of them I've got plans on taking up to tin. Just 2 of them, because they've got I got plans for them. So, but the rest of them are just going to go from 8 to the natural, and that's fine. That's fine. It's not going to matter. So, have a good one.